Regret makes you feel bad about what you did. Shame makes you feel awful about who you are. You see, when it comes to regret and shame, this is often a conflated emotion that we experience when we learn new information that we didn't have in the past, that now that we know better, we wish we could go back and change things. And sometimes that can conflate into us going into this place where we begin to feel bad about who we are. But if I could just offer you some counsel and some coaching thoughts, if you will, it's just that when you experience regret, it's actually an invitation for you to start making different decisions today. It doesn't mean that what we feel it could have been available to us today is still not available. It actually is, by us starting to make different decisions today for a better tomorrow. Shame, on the other hand, is really a tool that the enemy uses to really begin conflating what we did with who we are. And now this is where the confusion steps in. This is where the real self-doubt steps in. And now we no longer even see how God sees us anymore. We're just so locked in on our mistakes, thinking that it's not going to ever get better from here. And let me just to encourage you for a second that when we actually zoom out of our problems and focus in on who God is, and more importantly on who Christ says we are, that we are fearfully and wonderfully made according to the Old Testament, but even the New Testament, that we are God's masterpiece. This is what actually allows us to overcome those hurdles of shame and not continue to play in this cycle of allowing regret to take us to the route of shame by conflating what we did with who we are. Yes, we acknowledge that there are things that you could have done differently to place yourself in a better position today, but don't let that stop you from now making different decisions today for a greater tomorrow, because now that's up to you. And don't allow those past decisions to conflate your identity, because even though it's what you did, God knows it's what you did, and you're forgiven, and you're redeemed, and you're loved, and you're not too far from the reach and hand of God on your life. And when we learn to have grace for ourselves for the things that we didn't know then, that we now know for a better future, it actually allows us to move a little bit more in a gracious manner and in a kind manner to ourselves as we begin to learn greater processes of what it actually means to have a healthy life and create healthy relationships. I hope this made sense. If it did, I want you to type "caught" in the comment section below and follow for more as we continue navigating through our healing and doing relationships the right way, which starts with us doing the healing work on ourselves first, which sometimes looks like us differentiating regret and shame so we no longer fall victim to the shameful things that we may be considering, and allow ourselves to differentiate our behaviors from who we are and seeing God as he sees us. So that way, even when mistakes and compromises are still made, we show grace for ourselves. We become in alignment and in agreement with God's forgiveness over our lives. And we are allowing ourselves to move forward, making different decisions today for a greater tomorrow.